Okay, here we have a worksheet for our First Nations or Aboriginal or Indigenous peoples unit. And on this worksheet, we're looking at different kinds of artifacts and drawing some pictures of those artifacts in the boxes. So my first box says button blanket. I've gone on our classroom website and I have all of these items here. So let's take a look at the first one, which is button blanket. And so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a rectangle for the blanket. And then because it's made out of beads, I'm going to draw little circles to sort of make my pictures. And there I've drawn a picture looking like a face. Maybe I might draw some other items here. And when I add some color, I think I'll make this maybe a black and red blanket. There's my quick beaded blanket. Over here we have an example of a beaded blanket. This is not a real one, but one made out of felt with some buttons and felt sewn on it and glued on it. The next box says a Haida canoe paddle. So let's take a look on our website for some images. Here we have some images of Haida canoe paddles. So I can see that they're quite narrow and long in the handle. And they have kind of a narrow, long blade to them for paddling. And they've usually got some sort of painted decoration on it. So I think I'm going to do my paddle in a few different colors as well. Maybe use some brown to show the wood. There's my Haida canoe paddle. All right, the next one. All right, the next one on my list says Inuit bow and arrow. So the Inuit from up north. We'll look on the website for Inuit bow and arrow. Here's some Inuit bow and arrow, made from bone. I'm going to draw the shape. Kind of goes like that, and then a big curve, and then another small piece, and this like that. And I can see that the string attaches like this. Arrowheads. Shaft of the arrow. These are made out of bone. They kind of fade with time, so they end up looking brown like wood, but they're actually made of bone. String on this is actually animal gut. String. There's my Inuit bow and arrow. My next box says Salish cedar root basket. On the website here we can see a cedar root basket. I had a couple of these in my house when I was a kid. You can draw the basket shape here. They had a cord or a string on them to be able to put them over your shoulder. And they were woven, so we're going to put some little weaving lines in here. They were made out of bark, and sometimes the bark could be stained or dyed, or they could use different types of bark. They could get different colors in them. Here's my Salish cedar bark root basket. Here I'm looking for an Inuit fish spear. Website, I can find an Inuit fish spear. Of what the head of the spear looked like. So it had this U shape with 3 hooks that went inwards. It was on a long stick. So in ice fishing, you could use this. So the head kind of was U-shaped like this. Spike this way, and a spike this way, and a spike this way to catch the fish on. And it had a long spear handle. Made out of bone or wood. Inuit people up north might go ice fishing with something like this. Here we have 3 different tools that are used by the Inuit people. Inuit cutters and scrapers. The first one we have is called an ulu. Find those scrapers. This first one here is known as an ulu. So if we look at the shape, it's got a bone handle. Made out of stone that's been sharpened. You've got this round looking blade. An ektakin. A stone for the blade, and maybe bone for the handle. Tied together with some animal gut. Scraper that could be made out of bone that just looks like basically a knife, but made out of bone. Have a hole in it here for tying around you. As bone gets old, it doesn't stay white. It has some carvings and stuff on it too. There we have some artifacts, some tools that were very important.